everyone? Jared Sandler here with you. Hey, look at all this. The graphics. I want to shout out my buddy Will for helping me put all this together. It's been a while since I've talked to you in this setting. This is Just Saying. I'm going to share some thoughts. Cowboys, Rangers, Mavericks, Stars, the sports world at large. It doesn't matter. If it's relevant, if it's interesting, I'll do my best to talk about it, especially if I've got a stance or an opinion or something to share. Would certainly love and appreciate if you would subscribe to my YouTube page, youtube.com/SandlerJ1. If you're viewing this on YouTube, you can just click the subscribe button below. Also, give me that good old thumbs up. And if you've got some thoughts, questions, opinions, anything based on what I'm sharing, comment below. If you've got some topic suggestions, let me know. Certainly would love to cover it. I think once we get into the flow of a regular sports routine, a lot of the Monday Just Sayings will be about the Cowboys because, well, they typically would have played the day before, and a lot of people will be talking about it. We'll definitely get some regular Rangers content in here. Fridays so far have been just kind of unloading random bullet-pointed sports thoughts, but, of course, I'm not going to be held down to a set schedule, and when stuff comes up, I'll be prepared to talk about it. I'll also be bringing you interviews, funny interviews, serious interviews, so we'll try to bring you some good content on this YouTube channel. All right, do want to talk Cowboys today, though, and I don't mean to continue with the Dak conversation, but there was an interesting article shared by RJ Choppy and Eric Chiafalo last week on 105.3 The Fan that RJ found on Pro Football Focus. Now, I don't have a Pro Football Focus account, but the first chunk of the article is free for viewing, and enough of the article that you can see without an account is there for me to have drawn something from it. And the article was about, it wasn't specific to Dak. It was talking about Dak, Deshaun Watson, and Patrick Mahomes, and whether or not the thought that paying a quarterback makes your team around that quarterback worse is actually true based on numbers. And I'll just start off by saying that the findings of the article were that, no, that's a myth, that teams actually get better performance once they pay their quarterback. And the thought is this. First of all, if you listen to RJ or anyone who talks about gambling, when a quarterback is unavailable or out for a game, the line swings noticeably. But any other star player, be it a J.J. Watt game changer on defense, or heck, let's stick with the Houston Texans theme, trading away DeAndre Hopkins, the line doesn't move that much, maybe a half a point. So there is some thought to that, hey, we highlight and talk about these skill position players and their impact, or the linemen, and anyone on the defensive side, great players, but the quarterback's level of importance is just so elevated compared to everyone else that it doesn't make as much of a difference when you lose one of those guys as some people think. Now, it's important to know, no one's saying you can just stick a great quarterback with a bunch of guys off the street and, their ability to win games is going to be compromised that much. That's not at all what anyone's saying. But the PFF article looks at a term, an acronym that baseball uses a lot, WAR. So they look at wins above replacement. So if you were to replace a player with a league average player, how much better or worse would that team be? So they looked at it two ways. What is the quarterback WAR for quarterbacks who have been paid their second contract versus quarterbacks still on their rookie contract? And then what is the rest of the team WAR for teams that have paid a quarterback that second contract money versus teams that are still on the rookie contract? And let's start with that. The findings for that were neutral. There really wasn't a whole lot of difference there. Teams were just as successful with everyone other than the quarterback when they hadn't paid a quarterback beyond their rookie deal versus when they had. So it suggests there that the surrounding talent really doesn't change a whole lot. again, it still requires a front office and a team to make smart decisions and to be prudent and practical with that decision making. But it also shows that, the thought that, well, you are now hamstringing yourself significantly, maybe isn't that true. What about the quarterbacks that do get paid? Well, they perform better than the ones who don't. And sometimes people think, oh, you pay someone the money and then all of a sudden, they're going to start getting lazy on you. And obviously that's a case-by-case basis. I'm sure that, that there have been quarterbacks for whom that is true. But the thought is this, that if you look at data, the quarterback position is such that by the time your rookie contract is over, or by the time, you sign an extension, so around that, third, fourth, and even fifth year, if they give you that fifth-year option and then maybe you don't sign or whatever the case is, you're still getting better. And if you look at some of the best quarterbacks of this most recent generation in their 6th, 7th, 8th years, all right, the 3 years after the 5 years of control that a first-round quarterback would give a team, and not all these guys were first-round picks, but you look at those years, and those are still years in which a quarterback's performance is doing this. Now, there are certain guys like Tom Brady who they defy an age window, and they're doing this, and then maybe they're doing this for a long, long time when a lot of quarterbacks are doing this, and then this, and then this. But the point is for your humans, all right, you guys other than Tom Brady, and he certainly fits this category, but the production isn't going like this through that first contract and then this at around the age in which you're signing that second contract. So you look at guys like Brady, all right, years 6 through 8 for Brady were better than 1 through 5. All right, no question about it. Aaron Rodgers' best season individually was in that 6 through 8 year window range. Also won a Super Bowl right around that time as well, and then the next year went 15-1. Peyton Manning's first major touchdown pass season came within that range when he threw 49 touchdown passes. Of course, later on, he got a second win with the Broncos and ended up throwing more than that. But it's also important to note that you've got to look at the player's production relative to the rest of the league at that time. Obviously, someone's quarterback stats in 2007 are going to be a lot different than their stats in 2014, 15 even. But just because they threw for more yards in 2015 doesn't mean relative to the league they were better than they were, say, in 2007. That's another thing. If you're just going to kind of fact check and look at the numbers, the raw numbers, again, not saying that guys definitively get worse after years 6 through 8, but if you look at the numbers, they're getting better during that time as well. Phillip Rivers, same thing. Phillip Rivers in years 6 through 8 with the Chargers, getting better, still on the rise. And also, Phillip Rivers and Aaron Rodgers are good cases to clarify. We're talking about 6 years from the time you're drafted. So it's not 6 years from the time you're that team starter. 6 years from the time that's drafted, because that's the clock that's relevant here, because it's all based on contract. Drew Brees is an exception, because Drew Brees had shoulder surgery during that time. Now, he's obviously gotten better since then, so he does support the case of, quarterbacks continuing to get better during that second contract period, or, in his case, in Brady's case, beyond that. But if you look at his 6 through 8 seasons, you got to also count that he had a significant shoulder injury that changed his career trajectory. Ben Roethlisberger, same type of thing. When he first came into the league, he was really successful from a win-loss standpoint, but a lot of people looked at him maybe as a little bit of a bus driver, and then he started to take on more and more responsibility. He finally had his first 4,000-yard passing season within that window, and he really started to emerge as one of the top passers in the game. So it obviously doesn't apply to everyone, because not everyone is a really good quarterback, but you're also probably not paying a guy if you don't think that he is a really good quarterback, whether it's Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson or Dak Prescott. And so the thought from this article, and it's not that it's, hey, this article is 100% right and anyone who has a different opinion is wrong, that's not it. But the article does present some significant data to suggest that, A, paying your quarterback doesn't really weaken the team around you. it is dependent upon a front office capable of spending with maybe not as deep pockets, but B, the quarterback production still is getting better when you pay that guy, because teams are selective on whom they pay, and if you pay the right guys, they're still probably getting better. And so the net result is a positive for teams that end up paying that quarterback. So the point of this isn't to definitively sway you on whether or not you think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. That's a separate conversation. But it is to suggest that A, you're still likely going to get equal, if not better, production during that second contract, and B, you don't need to worry so much about the team around you based on objective data regarding the production of the supporting cast. There you go. That's just saying for today. We'll talk to you in a few days, also with some interview content and video content popping up. Some of my Just a Sec interviews can be found on this channel, interviews in which I sit down long form with some central figures in and around the sports world. Would certainly hope if you check that out. Feel free to share, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. I'd love to interact with you. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon.